Duke just said everything we needed to hear. Everything. What's good, people? It's your boy, Mr. Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk. Right back like I never left. What's going on with y'all, man? Sorry I had to take a day off yesterday. Life be lifing, but we are back. And we back with an interesting conversation. Let's talk about our O-line real quick. Before I get to that, though, do me the biggest favor. I am this close. I think like 40 people away from 32K. If you like the channel and you like the content, hit the subscribe button, man. If you're already back here like you never left, I appreciate you. Now, let's talk about Duke Manyweather. Cowboys offensive line coach. No, he is not an official offensive line coach. But if you tapped in like I'm tapped in, you know who Duke Manyweather is. And if you don't, go look at the thumbnail. The gentleman with the arrow, that's him. He's very important. He has been the in-house offensive line guru, trainer for Philadelphia Eagles fans that watch this video, because I know y'all watch it. That's our Jeff Stoutland. He is very, very, very knowledgeable in the offensive line room. He does not coach the team directly, but he does help our Cowboys players with fundamentals, et cetera, at least offensive linemen. And very tapped in. He is one of the leaders of the offensive line, the O-line masterminds, offensive line summit, and gurus and app and everything else that Duke does. I appreciate Duke because he helps keep us on track. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I saw this picture a while ago that I posted on the thumbnail of him standing next to Connor Riley and some other sub coaches. And it looks like, a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's like, never saw Duke standing next to Mike Solari or Philbin or anybody else. And if somebody can correct me on that, let me know. But I've never seen them next to each other. Now, this is just a picture. A lot of whispers about what happened, that they were working together. But this is a chance for me to let you hear from Duke's words, from Duke's own words, that Connor reached out to him and wanted to get everything on track and keep everything like this. And that is the key to our greatness this year. You want to see Terrence Steele take a big leap. He trains with Duke. You want to see Tyler Guyton get better. He trains with Duke. But you get trained by Duke Manyweather, all these fundamentals, then you get under like a Mike Solari, and he's trying to tell you, don't do it that way, do it my way. And it causes confusion, no continuity. Listen to Duke explain what's going on with the players and the fact that kind of reached out to us.
Duke Manyweather from OL Masterminds joining us here on Sean and RJ on 105.3 The Fan. You mentioned meeting with Connor Riley a few weeks back. I know that there's, in some instances, coaches will maybe get a little territorial, and they'll say, no, I don't want somebody from outside the building doing this, and they start drawing unnecessary lines. How encouraging was that to you that, Connor Riley, Coach Chin, that they looked at and they said, hey, no, we want to be in front of you and we all want to talk and get on the same page and value what you're doing with these guys?
Well, I think it's highly valuable for everybody involved. At the end of the day, for me, it doesn't change my life any. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But as I've said and always said, I've said to you personally, I won't work for anybody, but I'll work with whoever wants to work, with versus for. And I think that is very encouraging that, again, I gave this example. I did an interview with CBS Sports, and they kind of talked about how, Tyler Smith and Tyler Guyton kind of learned from Zach Martin. And the conversation came up, and I said, listen, in 11 seasons, Zach had 7 offensive line coaches, and a lot of those guys, like Terrence, is at, I think 3 or 4. So when you look at that, not that I am the voice in the O-line room and their O-line coach, but I'm a consistent eye and ear for them, and I think that's important because, if you have a coach that's new every single year, they're going to be asking you to do new things every single year. And sometimes you lose yourself and you lose what makes you good. And I think I'm just kind of the eye and the ear and that's that constant reminder for these guys. Hey, this is what you do really well. Let's not get too far away from that, even within the context of what these coaching staff may want you to do. So me and Connor kind of talked about that. Like, hey, this is what this guy does really well. And we're just on the same page with everything. So I think it's very encouraging. One thing that I will say is Cowboys specifically, I think that they've got a plan in place that can really change the culture of this team. And I think that, still within the organization, there's some aspects that need to be addressed that can fully change the culture. But I think for sure, like this staff is doing things a little differently. And I think there's a lot of energy around what they're doing. And the most important thing about the staff doing things differently and the energy around it is that the players are bought in to that. And I think that's important. If the players are bought in to the energy and into the difference in coaching and the way that players are handled, then that's half the battle. And then you got to start winning football games. So once you start winning football games, then the buy-in becomes even more.
Now, let me first take a second to thank 1035 The Fan. This is their interview. If you want to hear the full Duke interview, go check out their channel, 1035 The Fan. Appreciate them for getting the interview, Bobby Belton them. And I just wanted to catch the audio because I think it's important to spread this around. If you don't hear it over there, I wanted you to hear it over here, but I also wanted to get my perspective on why this is important. Duke is just... It's important to have somebody like Duke Manyweather for your team because you need multiple eyes on different situations. That's why I like Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer, the difference between him and Mike McCarthy is Mike McCarthy comes off as a know-it-all. I've been in this for a long time. I got a championship. I know what I'm doing. Schottenheimer comes off as a coach's son. I wanna know it all. I know it all. Want to know it all. So let me bring in Connor Riley. Let me bring in Clayton Adams. Let me bring in Junior Adams. Let me bring in different coaches, Matt Eberflus, Borgonzoni, like different coaches, sub-coaches that can help me become a better coach because they might know specific things in their expertise that I don't know. I'll work on the culture piece and making sure the team is clicking. You guys work on the X's and O's and let's make this amalgamation thing work. That's why I love this. That's why I love this. Continuity is a big thing. Duke knows what he's doing. Let's not him and Lane Johnson like this. I don't like the Eagles, but Lane Johnson know what he's doing. Duke know what he's doing. We want people around us that know what they're doing. I'm not about to tell you about the X's and O's about the offensive line. You got to go talk to my brother Boss. Go talk to Vosh Lombardi. They'll break it down for you so it can forever be broken. But I am going to tell you why I think this is important. Duke also touched on one other thing. He talked about Tyler Guyton and why he thinks Tyler will be better this year. And I thought that was important. Listen to this.
Tyler Guyton, I know when he was drafted, he talked about how that was the how he first became familiar with you, even before he came into the league, was that he had gone to OL Masterminds the year before. Guyton obviously was a guy who had a little bit of a tough rookie season, but he's gotten a lot of praise for the work he's put in this offseason from new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. What is your outlook for Guyton moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you this. I think it's really funny. There was this whole thing on Twitter this off season about how me and Guyton had some type of beef and moved on. It was weird. Me and Guyton would send each other the tweets all the time and just kind of laugh at it. But he's doing really well, man. He's doing really well. As I said early in the off season, he had a lot to figure out, and it was going to be up to him to figure that out if he wants to make a next jump. And we're still there. And I think he is figuring it out. Highly competitive, really doing things with intent and deliberateness. I expect for him to take a jump, man. As I said last year, I thought that him and Cooper Beebe were going to be fine, man. I thought that those guys are going to be really good, and I still feel like that. And you got to understand that development is not linear. And there's going to be a new coaching staff. I like what Connor Riley's doing, and then Coach Chen as well. We met a couple of weeks ago for about an hour and a half. Just got on the same page with everybody in that room that I'll be working with, which is most of them, almost all of them. And really my whole goal for not only Tyler Guyton or Tyler Booker or Tyler Smith or Terrence, or any of those guys, Cooper, is just to help make them be the most efficient, effective, and consistent player that they can be within their skill set. And that's really what it's all about, man. What I try to do is identify what makes each individual special, and, you know, help them develop a skill set around those special qualities what make them unique. Because I think if you can really focus and hone in on that, it allows the guys to have a skill set that they can replicate down in and down out, day in and day out. And I think that's really what it's all about, man. I'm excited.
That's all we wanted to hear. That's all we wanted to hear. I did a live stream the other day talking about the fact that Tyler Guyton might have his job taken if Asim Richards comes to play. You know, and it's not a definite. It's just we don't have time to wait around. I think Tyler recognizes that. I think he's been putting in the effort. He's intentional. And the thing I heard from Duke that I like is he's competitive. Being competitive is important. Let's get to it. So I'm happy to hear his progression. I'm happy to hear that him and Duke is cool. That was funny to hear, right? That, you know, there was this thing about saying that Tyler wasn't rocking with Duke and Duke wasn't rocking with Tyler, and it was an issue and all this extra stuff. It's cool to hear Duke say, no, we good. He's still rocking over here, as well as Booker. He talked about Tyler Booker. He talked about, I know Cooper Beebe has rocked with him since college. You're talking about Tyler Smith. You're talking about most of our offensive, Terrence, everybody on the offensive line. Just talk about it. They all rock with Duke. Terrence Steele, Tyler Booker, Cooper Beebe since college, Tyler Guyton, and Tyler Smith. This is why this is important. You can't have Duke teaching them stuff in the offseason and then Connor Riley coming and say, well, this is how I like to get it done. Let's converse. Let's work together. So that's why I thought this was important. This is the key to our offensive line getting better, and it will be better. 100% it will be better. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about Duke speaking on this, you know, and the fact that if you think this will make the offensive line better. I know there's going to be negative people that's like, this doesn't matter. Everything doesn't matter to some people. Everything doesn't matter. Nothing, none of this offseason stuff matters. My question is this. If nothing in the offseason matters, how do teams get better? They do the same things that I'm pointing out. It's your boy, Mr. Roman. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hit the subscribe button. I'll holla.